Hey, what's up, guys? It's not a tech video, but this is a video I think is very important to make to reflect because 10 years ago on September 11, 2001, we had our biggest and greatest loss of life on 9/11 due to a terrorist attack here in the United States. Thousands of people lost their lives. The people who were in the tower and the emergency response personnel, the firefighters, the medical, the police officers, all those people who went and risked their life for somebody else, for a complete stranger, to try to save them, who also lost their lives when the buildings collapsed. And this day is 10 years removed from it. And you think about it, 10 years. It may seem like a long time ago, but there's still people affected by it, especially the city of New York, all the residents who, they went to a big transformation, especially on that day. The rest of our country and also the rest of the world who shared their deepest sympathies with what happened. And we always must remember that that attack happened, but there are attacks that are still going on in other countries, and maybe smaller countries, but they're still just as important. We still have our troops serving overseas. There's still people over in Iraq. There's still people over in Afghanistan and other places risking their life and serving their country. This day is very important to our nation was never the same afterwards, and that, it's not all for the bad, it's also for the good as well. I think we recognize that we need to cherish, you may need to cherish your family members a little bit more, but also to recognize that there's a real threat, to our country. And, with the towers being rebuilt up in New York, I think they wanted to get it done by the 10-year anniversary, but the towers being rebuilt, that's going to fill a gaping hole in that city, and the country as well, but especially New York City, that has been there, ever since those attacks. And also to those who lost their lives, in the Pentagon and in other places where that attack happened as well. I don't want to forget all those other places. Now we always focus on New York. But I just remember 10 years ago when I was, in high school, I was in English class in my junior year. And I think that's when we already heard about one plane flying into the tower. But then when that second plane hit, because the first plane, you were kind of like, oh, that could be an accident or pilot error, or just something could have happened. But then when that second plane went in, you just kind of, you kind of knew. I remember I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps now just thinking about it when you heard the second plane went in there, because that's when you knew something was up. And then our entire high school, we had like over 2,000 students at the time. It was quiet. Everybody was watching it, and you felt that impact of that happening. You felt the fear about what's going to happen next. There were still planes in the air. They were still scrambling. They still didn't have tabs on a couple of the planes, and then of course they had to bring all the planes down. But just that day, really, I think everybody was changed a little bit by what happened. But especially those families of those who lost their lives. So, this video, I just wanted to pay my respects to those who lost their lives, and also to my fellow soldiers who are still overseas and still in deployment. Fighting the fight. And I have friends who are still overseas right now. And you always need to remember that there's still, people still risking their lives. So anyway, I'm not going to make this video go on too long, but I'm really interested to see, where were you when this happened, or what are your thoughts on 9/11? What is your experiences by it? I know I do have some veterans who watch my channel, but also to just everybody, what are your thoughts about it? You can either leave a comment down below, but also too, I'm gonna open up the video responses to this video as well. Leave a video response. I'm really interested to see, exactly the impact, that it had on each and every one of you, and especially if you're in another country, what did that mean for you as well? Well, all right, guys. Well, I'm about to go ahead and do my outro. It's probably more relevant for this video more than any of my other videos, and that is peace.